Now it's my vacation shirt. So today we're going to be talking about fees as it relates to index universal life insurance policies. And we've done a video similar to this in the past, but things change and they change just about every year. And so I thought I'd do another video on fees juxtaposing 3 different products in the index universal life insurance space. Now, this is not a product review. Not a product review. I do want to, though, highlight the difference in the fees associated with each of these different contracts. And the reason why is we've seen a lot recently, people coming to us asking for a early cash value, low fee index universal life insurance policy. And while those do exist, I want to show you that there's actually no such thing as a free lunch. And just like in every other situation in life, there's a give and a take. So if you are going to move into a product that doesn't have any early fees or loads, you're probably giving something up. And if you're not seeing what's actually available in the marketplace, if you only see one solution, it's very difficult to make a good decision. So the first product that we're going to look at is the North American Builder Plus 3. The second product is the North American Smart Builder, IUL 3. Then we're going to look at the Symetra Index Universal Life Insurance Policy, their Accumulator Ascent. So the idea here is this was a 58-year-old client who was looking at repositioning $1 million into an index universal life insurance policy in the most efficient way possible. And they came to us asking for a policy that had next to no fees. And so we showed them that. We're going to get to that one in a second. But what I want you to get through this video is that paying the lowest amount of fees is certainly a good idea, but it's not the sole focus. It's just one variable in a relatively complex instrument. And I think you're going to see that throughout this video. We're going to start with the Builder Plus 3. Now, all of these policies are going to show that $1 million being paid in over a 5-year payment schedule because that lined up with this particular client's goals. Again, this is a 58-year-old male, standard, non-tobacco. So $200,000 goes in over the first 5 years. This Builder Plus is going to have a $10,000 premium load. Every time that a premium is paid, there's going to be a load, and it's $10,000 on the $200,000 premium. It's also going to have cost of insurance tacked on, and you'll notice that the cost of insurance ebbs and flows. It actually increases for several years, and then it starts to decrease, and then it starts to increase once again. And that is actually pretty typical for an index life insurance policy. You'll notice that there's no rider charges, and there is an additional expense charge. And this actually ends up being the largest charge on the policy by a pretty wide margin. You can see that those charges escalate pretty quickly. We're paying $25,000 a year here, about 10 years down the road in additional expense charges. So that's the Builder Plus 3. $10,000 premium load, $3,400 cost of insurance, $13,000 expense charges in that first year. Let's juxtapose that to one of North American's other policies that essentially has no fees, no large fees in the early years. So here we are on the Smart Builder 3. This product is designed to have super low fees in the early years. And so it's really good for 1035 exchanges or asset repositions. At least that's what it's supposed to do really well. And you'll notice that where it's actually doing it is in 2 spots. We have no premium load. So no $10,000 premium load. It's the same $200,000 going in. No premium load. Our cost of insurance is a little bit higher in that first year, and our additional expense charges are much lower in that first year. So all in all, the fees on this Smart Builder product are way lower than what they would be on the Builder Plus. And if fees were the only thing that you were looking at, you might think, well, this is the product for me because I don't want to pay any fees. But you and I both know there's no such thing as a free lunch. So check this out. If we look at this middle couple columns here, bonus credit and index credit, this is the Smart Builder contract with lower fees, no such thing as a free lunch. You'll notice that there's no bonus credits on this contract. So this is a credit would be you earning dollars. There's no bonus credits on this particular contract. And then we can see what the indexed crediting is there. And let's just highlight, for example, age 70/71. Our index credit in that year is $51,574 Let's look back at the other product and see what it says. So here we are on the Builder Plus 3. Back to the original one, we're looking at age 70/71. And what do we see? We actually have bonus credits, number one. And number two, our index credits are much larger, 77,000 and 12,200. 77 and 12,200 in credits to the policy owner versus 51,574. And that's just in 1 year. That's a difference of over $20,000, more like $30,000 in credits in 1 year. And so I just need to really quickly show you what's happening here. In almost all of these low fee products, you are trading low to no premium loads and lower expense charges for much less policy growth. Much less policy growth. So if you have a short-term time horizon, if your goals are short-term, then maybe it makes sense to go with a super low fee product. But if your goals are longer term, let's look at the cash surrender values here. At age 69/70, we got 1.188 million in cash surrender value with paying very little in fees. I mean, I would venture to say this is about the lowest amount you can pay in fees because that's how the product is built. 1.188 million in cash value at age 69/70. Let's check the regular Builder Plus 3 that does have all those fees in there. And I think you'll be surprised. So now we are paying premium loads. We are paying higher additional expense charges, but we're getting bonus credits and we're getting some higher indexed credits. We go out to that same age 69/70. And what do we have? $1.3 million, over $100,000 more cash in the policy that's charging you more in fees. How the heck does that work? I'll show you exactly how it works. And this is why fees are just one variable in the equation, because the trade-off, no such thing as a free lunch, the trade-off is going to be lower caps, lower participation rates, worse policy provisions for you. Check this out. So what we're looking at here is our Smart Builder contract. This Smart Builder contract, again, is the contract with little to no fees in those early years, zero premium loads, lower additional expenses. And if we look at our S&P account, our annual point-to-point S&P account, we're gonna see a cap of 6.5%. 6.5% annual cap on this particular product. So is there such thing as a free lunch? Well, that depends. What's the cap on the other North American product? Here's our Builder Plus. Our Builder Plus, we're looking at the S&P 500 annual point-to-point, 9.5% cap. So you are missing out on 3%, 6.5 to 9.5. You're missing out on 3% growth every single year that the S&P performs above 9.5%. And that is a huge discrepancy. We're talking over $100,000 difference inside the first 10 to 11 years. And if we extrapolate that over a 20 or 30 year retirement, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars you've lost because you only focused on the fees in the early years. We spent a lot of time on the North American because they have an interesting product lineup where they do have a no load product. And it's easy to compare the North American to the North American. But let's add Symetra into the mix. So here's the Symetra policy. It's the same $200,000 going in over 5 years. And what you'll notice is our premium expense charges are higher than the North American, 19.2 in year one, then 10.2 after that. Our cost of insurance is similar in those early years. Our admin and rider charges are much higher, $34,000 a year in admin and rider charges. And so if you were to just look at this product and see those fees, you would think this is going to be much worse, right? This is going to be much, much worse. Well, is it? Let's see. What's the cash value in 12 years, age 69? Net surrender value, 1.489 million. 1.489 million cash surrender value in that 12th year versus in the better of the two North American policies, our cash surrender value in the same 12th year, 1.31. So we've actually got more cash surrender value, almost $100,000, more than $100,000 in additional cash surrender value, and yet we're paying more in fees. How is this possible? Would you be surprised to hear that it's the exact same story? Here's our S&P index, our 1-year S&P index, 11.5% cap. The North American policy had a 9.5% cap, 11.5% cap versus a 9.5% cap, which means every single time the S&P performs at 11.5 or better, guess what? The Symetra policy captures an additional 2%. And over a 20 or 30-year time frame, that's a ton of additional interest credits to the policy owner. And so the question then becomes, well, should I even care about the fees? You definitely should care about the fees, but it's more about fees in the absence of value. If you're paying more in fees, what you should expect is higher caps, maybe even some guaranteed bonuses, which is ultimately going to generate more cash value if the market performs reasonably well. So let's do a quick recap here. We have our 3 policies. We have our North American Smart Builder product. This Smart Builder product doesn't have any premium loads and it has lower expense charges. It's one of the lowest fee products in the industry, really, and yet it can't keep pace in terms of cash growth as well as the other policies that we looked at. It's not built actually to do that. And if you ask North American, they would say, well, yeah, this is not a policy necessarily built for cash growth. This would be a great policy for large 1035 exchanges from maybe whole life insurance companies in order to buy as much death benefit as possible. Something like that might be a really good application for this particular policy because, again, there's no premium load, but if you're expecting this to be your cash cow and generate a bunch of supplemental retirement income, it's probably not the right product. In fact, North American would tell you, hey, if you want to generate cash value, we've got a better product for that in our own lineup, and that would be the Builder Plus 3. And the Builder Plus 3 does have premium loads, and it does have higher expense charges. But what does it also have? It has higher caps than their Smart Builder product. It has bonus credits. Their Smart Builder product doesn't. And all other things being equal, it should absolutely, because it has the ability to capture 3% additional upside on the S&P on an annual point-to-point basis, it should generate much higher cash surrender values over the Smart Builder product. And then taking it one step further, it's not just about the fees because we have this Symetra policy here that's paying way more in fees in these early years. The admin charges look to be off the charts, $34,000 a year. They still have the same premium expense charges, $19,200 in year 1, dropping down to $10,200, and they still have cost of insurance. And so on the face of it, it would look like this is the worst product if you're trying to build cash. But is it? Well, it's not. It's actually giving us higher estimated cash surrender values in the time frame that we looked at here. And why is it doing that? Well, it's doing that because it also can capture more of the S&P upside relative to both of the 2 North American policies. So which one of these products is best? Well, that's not what this video is about. It's not about which of these products is best. Each of these products has its own niche, its own kind of target market where they're trying to do something specific. But what I will tell you is this: if you're considering an index universal life insurance policy, and the only thing you can see, you've got blinders on, and the only thing you can see are what am I paying in fees? I'm going to submit to you that you're probably missing a lot of context that would really help you make a good decision with your dollars. So if you would like help making a good decision with your dollars, that is how we have built our company. We are solely focused on providing you the best information and education on how these policies work so that you can be armed to make a great decision with your dollars that you feel really good about. And our goal is to help you get there. Some people get to the end of that road and decide this is not a fit for me, and we feel like we've done our job. And so if you're looking for that type of dialogue, go to our website, leveragewm.com. Up at the top of the screen, you will see book a meeting. You can go there and you can chat with us for 15 or 30 minutes. We can get a feel for what you're trying to do, what your goals are, what your hopes and your dreams are. And then we can chat about whether or not something like this, an Index Universal Life Insurance policy, is right for you and your goals and your time horizon and your risk profile. Hopefully this has been helpful. I look forward to talking to each and every one of you in short order. Till next time.